Hey there, guys, it's Metro. This is something I've been working on for a very long time. This is a fan game, a Pokemon fan game that I have made. I just want to start by talking about what it is and its goals, and then I'm going to play through it and upload it all here. So I know a lot of people have been coming from the WoW channel and they've heard about it. I want to document this all because I feel like this is a very important part of my life, even though I haven't necessarily, done too much with it recently. I would like to document a full playthrough of it, and I have like ideations of potentially, exploring it to its infinity. There's a lot of replayability here, and I have great ideas for both speed running and challenge runs for this game. That's pretty much why I made it the way I did. So let's talk about what it is. It is a Pokemon fan game made in Pokemon Essentials in RPG Maker XP is the name of it. This is a very popular thing back in like 2015. It's probably not as popular nowadays to make the games the way this game is made, but yeah, Pokemon ROM hacks and fan games are some of the most like potent community-made games for any franchise ever. So, I mean, this is my love letter to that. I played Pokemon Reborn on AceGamestv, the first channel I ever had with Arno, a very good friend of mine, and we played through the entirety of what was out at the time. Haven't gone back in like 3 or 4 episodes, but after me and him kind of went our separate ways in life, I decided that I wanted to make my own game because I really loved Reborn and then Pokemon Rejuvenation, which came from that same community. And I decided that I really liked how they made their game, but I didn't live up to my challenge or my goals for it. So instead of just editing their game, I decided to make my own game. So I basically I'm just tell you like straight up, I just took Pokemon Reborn, deleted all their content, and then on top of their code base, made my game instead. And my game is entirely fixated in Johto. Okay, it is Gen 2 setting, but with a crazy twist. Not obviously in the timeline of Gen 2. You'll see here in the playthrough if you watch it. My goals for my Pokemon game are challenge first. Okay, a lot of people call this hard type challenge. Insane difficulty you might have heard in different types of games and ROM hacks. But yeah, that's my goal. Basically, I've always been making all mods with this goal in mind. I make the game extremely difficult, but give the player a ton of options on how to accomplish the goals that they're looking to beat. Like, anything they want to defeat, they have a million options. Whereas if you play like vanilla Pokemon, you come against Brock in Gen 1, and he's got rock types, and you picked a water type. You know what I mean? Like easy mode, you picked a fire type, hard mode. You know what I mean? So instead of that, we're talking about having a lot more options. Some of the major changes I made are every route will have 11 species with a various, like the full rainbow of types, basically. I tried to make every single route in the game offer every type in the game. The reason I did that was because I love the idea of a mono run. And I despise how even in a game like Reborn, if you want to do a dragon mono run, you basically can't use a single Pokemon. Like there are no dragon Pokemon, you know what I mean? Like you have to wait like 5 hours to be able to start your run, stuff like that. So from the ground up, you will have a ton of options to catch Pokemon. Every trainer you meet will have 6 Pokemon. Every gym will have a very intensive team with very heavy, let's put like a lot of effort into each move set and like the pool of what they can do in that match, and they will all feature a field. So if you've never watched a Pokemon playthrough before, or you've never seen a fan game that's made especially on the modern engines that people have been making for Pokemon fan games, fields are like a huge part of why these games are interesting and why they are hard at all. And yeah, this game is featuring all of that. So pretty much again, just took them right from Reborn, some from Rejuvenation as well, tweaked some. I think I maybe even made a custom one for my game as well. This is a long time ago I made this. I'm pretty sure. 2016 sounds right to me. There's like a little nod to that in the game in the beginning. But it was basically made under the idea that like I felt like creatively overflowing with no outlet. So every Sunday, there was a day I just had dedicated to this. I would spend 6 to 8 hours just making this game, and that went on for months and months and months, probably like a year, maybe a year and a half. And this is the result. It has 18 gyms, just like the fan games that it's inspired by, one for each type. It will also eventually someday, maybe never, but someday the goal is to have a new game plus, which I don't know if any other fan game has, but I've always liked the idea of a new game plus. It features a it does I did put time into a story. I originally started making the game without any like story goals, and then I realized like this is just not going to work. You can't play 18 gyms without any story. So I did make some story that's heavily inspired by media and things that I'm very interested in, especially at the time. We'll be going through all that. I'll be reading all that out for you guys. Let's see what else. A lot of the side tech that has developed over the years for Pokemon Essential is there. Like I can use a Pokeball as the held item in my lead slot, and that will always make me encounter a Pokemon that I have not caught yet. That's important because on every route I have a collection challenge, whereas if you collect every species on a route, you get a reward, provided you find the guy who gives you the reward. Not necessarily a puzzle, but I've seen people play through the game and miss it. So that's going to be a huge part of it. On top of that, there are no held items or battle ability or battle items at all. You cannot use anything to impact your Pokemon once the battle has started. You are not given anything. That's I guess a distinction that should be made. You are not given anything by the game to use in battle. So no potions or anything like that. The opposing trainers and stuff can't do that either, but they do have held items. Um, the uh, the reason that this is crucial is because it means that you will never get a single piece of money that isn't from winning a battle or from selling something that you currently already have. So that means that if you need money for the things that you can buy, you are limited. You have a limited amount of money. Now, there is technically a way to get infinite money in the game by putting gameplay hours into it. What I did not like about the vanilla games is that you would basically just amass an enormous amount of money and never really spend it until you actually wanted to spend it. And by then you had an enormous amount and you just buy whatever you want and never think about it again. Even in Reborn and stuff, it's like that. So my game's money is actually a big feature. On top of that, we have dedicated IV and EV training ability things, like ways to get exactly what you want for each Pokemon. There is no breeding. We have a move tutor for egg moves as well. That was a Reborn feature, I believe, and that is in this game as well. I'm trying to think of like every feature that might be featured. Shiny Stone. If you hold a Shiny Stone, you will make the Pokemon shiny. The shiny chance is like way, 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 way higher. I know like Reborn had it like 10 times higher than it was in the vanilla Pokemon, and I made it like even probably another 10 times higher. It's like you're going to see a lot of shinies because I love shinies. I think like a shiny Pokemon is like a good, you should see it. You know what I mean? I don't think it should be so rare. But yeah, very, very difficult game. But the game is made from the ground up to enable challenge runs like monotype, especially. That's the number one. Like I have, again, ideations of beating this with all 18 monotypes. I think it'd be extremely challenging, and this would be like the ultimate way to beat this game. Kind of like people do like Dark Souls no hit runs. That would be the equivalent here. Beat this game with all 18 monotypes. Or like, I mean, like not Dark Souls, but like the full franchise of Dark Souls. They beat the all 8 games or whatever it is with no hit. This would be the equivalent for my game. Beat 18 monotypes. There's also in the beginning a challenge, like vendor kind of guy. He offers 3 additional hard, like coded challenges. One is Nuzlocke. I don't think the game is possible to beat with Nuzlocke. I talked to a guy who's like pretty serious about Nuzlocking. Him playing through it again recently is the reason I started my playthrough just now and wanted to get into it again. He breathed new life into my interest for this, basically. But yeah, he could. I think he agrees now that it's just not possible. You will never beat this game with a Nuzlocke intact unless you just constantly catch Pokemon over and over and over again. Like you don't do like one per whatever, you know. But yeah, also featured is a randomizer for the Pokemon in your bags or whatever, in your bank. That was a great piece of code that somebody wrote for me. In Battle for Azeroth, somebody came into the stream. This guy's like a genius. He basically just didn't even know Ruby. That's the code language this game is made in. He basically learned enough to make it for me and then gave me what I needed to make. So it's a little janky because Pokemon it can technically give you no Pokemon, and that completely breaks the game. But as long as you have, 6 Pokemon and you randomize another 6 Pokemon, you will always have a full team, and it's very, very fun that way. That's another feature I've always liked, like randomization. There's random trainers that have a random team every time you fight them and are repeatable. Huge part of the game, being able to train. I did not want to limit any. I do not want people to be grinding on wild Pokemon. I hate that. So like I said, we have EV training. We have items you can buy for IV training, and then EV training has the items you can buy. So you spend money on that. We have the repeatable trainers for actual training of your Pokemon. We have repeatable gyms for further training if you really want to go hard on it. And then, potentially there's going to be ways that you can, get money from this, but they will not reward you any money directly. So, yeah, let's see what else. Oh, yeah. On top of that vendor that I was talking about, there are 2 other challenges. I just added these like about 2.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. It is the evolution chaos concept. If you guys ever watched the AGDQ Pokemon runs, I think from 2021, it was a very, very, very wild. Like, it made me really excited. It was a Pokemon Emerald game, and every time a Pokemon evolved, it not only learns a random move. Well, anytime it learns a move, it's totally random what the move is. And then anytime it evolves, anytime it levels up, it evolves into a random Pokemon. That's what it is. So those 2 things are separate, but are featured in my game. And yeah, maybe someday we will try to beat the game with that. I did try it. I got like through 3 gyms, and it's just like, it's kind of tedious, honestly. It's probably a lot more fun on an easier game. But yeah, it's definitely wild and unique. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm trying to just think oh yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. You'll see the rest. But yeah, I'm gonna do the first episode of this here, so this will be a longer one. But I just want to show you guys the basics of it, and I'm gonna try to record this and beat this game and walk you through everything that I do. There's been a few, like probably like 5 or 6 people have played it. If you are interested in playing this, I will not be publishing it publicly. All I ask though is you contact me on Discord, and I'll give you the link and explain everything to you. This is on PC. You cannot play this on your phone currently. If you want to use a controller, which is what I'll be doing, you need to use a program called Joy to Key. It has backup saves as default. You can change the size of the game in the options. I think there's like a bunch of things that if you never played Reborn or those games, you wouldn't know if you started playing my game. So I'm trying to get all of that out now. But yeah, I think for the most part, that's everything. So yeah, might as well get right into it. The only thing about this game is, it's not meant for widescreen, so we'll have the little black side on there, but whatever. So yeah, start a new game here and get right to it. Gary, wake up, you fool. We've arrived. Listen, we don't have a lot of time to talk, but just understand one thing. The Johto region isn't the same as it once was. Why are you looking at me like that? Anyway, don't worry. I'm not sure what to expect from this new Gym League format either. Well, at the very least, it should be more of a challenge than the last time you were here. Blast it, Gary. Don't close your eyes again. Listen, I can't wait for you here. I have business to attend to. I'll see you soon, okay? I think we spelled business wrong there. Oh, and what should I call you? Will you take an alias while we are here? I will indeed call myself Metro. Okay. Are you sure you want to be called Metro? Oh yeah. Metro, right. See you soon. What? No, of course you can't use your old Pokemon. Stop by Dr. Elm's lab. He has all new options for the new format. I'll speak with you soon. Hey, are you awake? Oh, it seems you are. Hello, former champ. I'd recognize you anywhere. Big fan here. Ahem. Well, I understand you're trying to blend in here with everyone else, so this will be the last I mention of it. At any rate, I spoke with your grandfather, and he let me know you'd be looking to try your hand at the new and improved Johto League. Things are considerably different than the years gone by. It's time Pokemon and trainers alike are given a more suitable challenge. So many upstarts plowed through our league after Gold showed them how easy it was. Anyway, let's get you started properly. Let's head to the good doctor's homestead and I'll introduce you. I don't believe you two have ever met, right? No, I didn't think so. The professor of Newbark Town you may have known unfortunately passed away a few years back. We are fortunate to have his son take up the position. He converted the lab into a homestead and now works and lives entirely for Pokemon. Anyway, he will treat you like any other fresh trainer come to try their hand at the league, just as your grandfather would want. Let's make our way. Alright, Dr. Elm will be just ahead, likely hard at work. I currently act as a field aide for the town's labs, but less and less gets done with the league's relaunch. He's a quiet man, unlike his father in that respect. I'll let you know everything you need to so as not to bother him with any basic questions. The Johto League has expanded not only in difficulty but also in size. You'll find far more challenges ahead of you, as we are aiming for a total of 18 badges. It's been difficult finding real estate for that many gyms. So many of our new leaders have simply taken up residence where they can find a place. The expansion has also allowed new Pokemon species to thrive in our region, so be sure to collect as many as you can. You know all about that though. Regardless, it will be important that you do. The format has allowed each gym leader to have a full team of 6, so you'll need to prepare diligently. As a gesture of respect, the initial options have been expanded as well. We have included a formidable Pokemon for each of the 18 currently known types. Choose wisely, as your champion will be one that will give you the advantage you need early in order to overcome the wild Pokemon disparity. Speaking of that, we have also rebalanced the wild Pokemon you will find throughout Johto. Every route will have different Pokemon entirely. On top of this, we also have taken care to introduce one rare species in certain areas to encourage both exploration and training. It will be important that you train wisely, as the Pokemon you find in Johto respect your progress more than you would have found in years past. Some people refer to it as a level cap, but I prefer to speak plainly. Either way, expect to keep many Pokemon equally trained as options to overcome this difficult league. If you are after an extra challenge, consider picking your companion based on a single type you intend to specialize in. It would be quite impressive if our champion were to complete the challenge with a singular Pokemon type, but it is of course your option if you wish to try that. Anyway, I believe that's everything. I must get back to work now, so I'll have my leave. I wish you the best of luck. It was a pleasure finally meeting you. Just let the doctor know you spoke with me, and he will award you with the Pokedex and one of the 18 options as your companion Pokemon. So right out of the gate, we see, we're in Johto, we're in New Bark Town. This is the lab. I love the way the game, oh, that's not intended. I love the way the game looks. I used the King's Texture shader, or smoother, to make all the vanilla, Pokemon, sprites and models and stuff, make them look a little bit more smooth and modern. And I'm really pleased with the results of this. So hopefully the music's the right length. I might turn it down a little bit, but yeah, we'll see in the future. But yeah, that was the introduction. If you can't tell, I am playing as Gary Oak. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of story revolving around this fact. And his grandfather was still present in the intro there, so we'll see how that unfolds. But here is Professor Elm, the son of the previous Professor Elm from Generation 2. Back so soon? Did you find anything that might be useful? Oh. I apologize. You must be here in regards to embarking on the Johto League's relaunch. My name is Dr. Albert Elm. It is good to make your acquaintance. Well, I trust you spoke with my aide then. He would have informed you of all the particulars. Each participant is afforded one free Pokemon at the onset of their journey to act as their companion. You may choose whichever benefits your interests. Come, let's be quick about it. There is much to be done here, and I do not wish to disappoint the office of my late father. Here we are. Dr. Elm says, while we are inside the selection room, you may not have any interaction with anyone other than I. You may not leave until you have made a selection. Consider examining all the options before you make a selection, as there is no second chance. Once you choose, you and I will exit the selection process, and the selection process will have concluded, registering you to challenge the league. You may take as long as you need to make your decision. I hope you enjoy our selection. Okay, so if you watched the Pokemon Reborn playthrough of me and Arno, you know that he had pretty much had an orgasm when he saw all the different options they offered. I think this is one-upping that. I don't know what their game looks like now when you start a new game, but yeah, we have one of every type, and these are some of my favorite Pokemon. And we have 18 types here, so 18 Pokemon, some of my favorite. I'm going to show you I guess we have some work to do on some of these tables. I'm going to show you every single thing, okay? Every single option. So this is Exploud. The normal type is Exploud. The fighting type is Girder. The flying type is Chatot. It's a very good Pokemon in this game. Weezing is the poison type, also a very good Pokemon in this game. I don't know what I'm going to pick. Ground type is Marowak. It's probably my least favorite of the 18. Boldore for the rock type. Cryogonal for the ice type. Steel type is Clang. That's what actually the person who I said was playing through my game recently, that's what he picked. I did not expect to see anybody pick the Steel type, frankly. Heatmore for the fire type, very good Pokemon. Kingler for the water type. One of the weaker choices, I'll explain why in a bit. Grass type, Tangrowth, very, very good option. Maybe the strongest out of all 18. Electric type is Eeltrick. Perhaps the most versatile pick in here. Dusclops for the ghost type. Never used this Pokemon, but it felt like the right base stats and everything for this room. Dark type is Absol. Good choice. Very, very good choice. Psychic type is Wobbuffet. That may be the one we choose. And Pinsir is the bug type. That's what Jix picked. I do not like Pinsir, frankly. But again, the right stat total. Dragon is Dragonair. Sounds like a good choice, right? And then Fairy is Gramble. Now, if you ever played Reborn and Rejuve, you know Gramble. Very powerful Pokemon early. So, let me tell you that I have taken a lot of care to rebalance every single Pokemon. Every single Pokemon's base stats, every single Pokemon's movesets, every single move in the game, every single ability in the game, every single ability Pokemon can't have. Full rebalance of every single Pokemon. The ones that are not fully evolved here are kind of like they're not an oversight or anything like that, but they're like a checks and balance type thing. Pretty much the only thing I rebalanced was the final evolution of every species. So some of these Pokemon will be pretty weak for a little bit, and then they will evolve into their final form, and they will be very, very powerful. So I cannot decide. I'm going to go ahead and I want to take Chatot, man. Chatot is such a good pick. I can make a separate video on each one of these someday, but I'm going to go ahead and take... I feel like Chatot's... It's such a tough choice, man. There's so many good Pokemon. I will take I'll take Chatot. It's such a tough Pokemon. I'm going to take Wobbuffet. Decide. I'm going to take Wobbuffet. No nicknames. Alright. I hope you are satisfied with your selection. Now that you have selected, you will be registered as an official opponent to the Johto League. Alongside your Pokemon, you are also asked to take this Pokedex. Please use it to catalog the different species you find. Please meet with my aide and he will award you with some extras to make the start of your journey more enjoyable. Can we go back in there? No. Can you talk to this guy? No. So let's talk to this guy. I see you have made your selection. I'm excited to see where you and your companion will end up in your journey. Now that you're officially a Pokemon trainer, I'd like to offer you a starting gift of 20 Pokeballs as well as running shoes and a Pokegear. Use them wisely, and from here on out, they will not be coming easily. As part of our challenge, you will not be able to purchase items as freely as you are used to. We will have instituted a rule banning all types of healing items from both the field and combat. You won't see a single potion anywhere in Johto. With this in mind, your primary source of income will be trainer battles, and you will spend currency primarily on balls. Make sure you check out any Pokemarts, as other important purchases can be made there. Anyway, here are your starting gifts. Be safe. Okay. Experience share. A vial. Shiny stone. And that's it. Now, I also have a little hidden thing here. So here. Second experience share. Having two is nice. So, I'm going to actually turn this down a little bit while we talk here. Let's talk about what we've seen so far. Yes, we have obviously a wide selection of Pokemon, and hopefully, you know, if you guys play it, you'll be encouraged to play through with multiple starters. I mean, I think there's a good chance that your starter doesn't get a lot of play, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys somehow watched my Pokemon Crystal Kaizo playthrough, you know Wobbuffet is overpowered as shit for a very challenging PvE experience. So if you are new to a challenge and you just want the potential easiest route through the game, or you want to see the whole game first before you start challenging yourself, probably pick this guy. It's very tough to say that because Chatot is very, very powerful early, and you will see why it could be a very good pick too. So either Chatot or Wobbuffet would be an incredible pick. Wobbuffet will scale very, very well into the late game. Chatot will not. But yeah, this is pretty much the best Pokemon in the game. I'm not going to change a single one of its moves. It will keep that moveset for the rest of the game, and it will be the reason we win many, many battles. But early on, it's going to be awful. So we'll have to talk about how we're going to train it. In terms of some of the stuff we got the experience share. It doesn't work like maybe the modern games work. I think experience share now, just you turn it on and all 6 Pokemon share. That is a bad thing. We do not want that. Because that stops you from EV training properly, or IV training. I can never remember which one's which. IV training properly. We don't want that, so we only want one Pokemon to ever have this. And then the other thing we got was the Vial. This is a new addition. I don't know if other Pokemon games have this. This heals your party anywhere in the world. and it recharges only at the Pokemon Center. Yeah, you can, this has 3 charges, I believe, so you don't constantly have to go back to heal. I don't know if my friend who's playing that knows that. I'm not sure I ever told him that, but here's the guy. The guy said, like, as a vendor of difficulty, looking for something a little different, you've come to the right place. Are you prepared for permadeath? No. How about randomizing the moves learned? No. How about evolution chaos? No. Evolve normally. So we won't do any of those things for this run, but yeah. That is it. I will not be, exploring. Oops. I will not be exploring anything in this town, but you can do that if you want to play the game and just message me. There's some little Easter eggs and things, but I did not really put a lot of time into making the world be like super alive. It's more about the game and its story, and anything caught up and kind of the fact that it's not very alive is kind of part of the story. So let's see what happens here. This is the first battle, and I do not have a Pokemon that I'm very confident with, but I'm sure we could beat him. Just a introductory thing, and once you beat this guy, you've officially passed the intro, so that will be the end of our first episode here. What will Wobbuffet do? Okay, so I assume he's going to use Bite on me. Yes. So we're going to use Counter. Okay. Oh yeah, he also has Color Change, or whatever it's called. I'm not sure I like that, but yeah, alright, that was very easy. Another big change in this game is experience is, I think it's like 10 times higher from trainers. Again, I did not really want people spending hours training their Pokemon. Pretty much everything in this game is going to be set up to not have that be a thing. So let us progress onto the first route, and then the next episode will be us doing the first route, and we'll talk about everything that would come with the first route in that episode. Sunny, you look lost. I bet you could use an experienced old trainer to teach you how to catch a Pokemon, right? I'm joking. If you don't already know how to do that, you might as well give up right now. You see, we are just about to take your first steps towards the league. It's important you understand what you are up against out here. This route is not something you should just fly through, like most would back in the day. You see, the league is pretty darn serious, and everyone around is looking to take her down. Every single trainer you meet is going to be trying their best. Make no mistake, this format has driven off your youngsters with one Rattata. That's the truth. Take some time to use this opportunity to its fullest. This here Route 29 got some pretty decent Pokemon scurrying about. You might want to catch them, unless you think you're in control. If you run out of Pokeballs, you're best to head on through to Cherry Grove City and restock. After that, things get serious and fast. Remember, coin is at a premium, and there are some serious litter laws, so you ain't gonna find no junk laying around that you could pawn off. One last tip. Any Pokemon you train past level 20 will not obey, but the boy at the mart has a way you can fix that. Just be careful. Anyway, you have a stroll around. I think you'll understand what I mean in no time at all. Best of luck to you, trainer. Go on. No turning back now. Now it begins. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode.